The Illuminati, a name throughout history that refers to several groups of people, both real and fictitious. Historically, it refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, a secret society founded in the late 18th century. In modern times, it refers to a conspiratorial organization which acts as a shadowy power behind the throne, controlling world affairs through present-day governments and corporations.
It's Illuminati.
In rarer cases, the Illuminati refers to an elite set of individuals who may not cooperate but are uniquely empowered by their enlightenment, education, and intelligence. It is perhaps in this tradition that the Goverati formed. Recently, Mark Drapeau wrote,
"The Goverati is made up of people with first-hand knowledge of how the government operates, who understand how to use social software to accomplish a variety of government missions, and who want to use that knowledge for the benefit of all. The Goverati includes not only government employees, but also people from think tanks, trade publications, and nonprofits. It includes high-profile thinkers outside of the government who have an interest in a more open, transparent, and efficient government. Using formal and informal social networks, the Goverati is networking, sharing information, and changing how parts of the government interact with each other and with citizens."
In our democratic society, the Goverati is connecting with the power behind the throne. In other words, it is connecting with citizens. The idea of fighting complacency to create a better society has been around for a long time. For example, Rear Admiral Grace Murray Hopper was an American computer scientist and United States naval officer. A pioneer in her field, she was one of the first programmers of the Harvard Mark I calculator and developed the first compiler for a computer programming language. Because of the breadth of her accomplishments and her naval rank, she is sometimes referred to as Amazing Grace. Listen to this interview with a computer magazine named Chips Ahoy from 1986.
Why are you such a supporter of Chips Ahoy?
I like the fact that it reviews hardware and software totally impartially. Chips Ahoy has never been attached to any particular computer. Almost all of the other magazines are either attached to one of the manufacturers or else they have in-house a particular computer which slants everything. Now I have a question. Why don't you get the darn system fixed so people can get subscriptions? There are a lot of schools and businesses that want the magazine.
We're trying, Admiral. We've already asked the government printing office for approval to sell Chips Ahoy.
Why don't you just go ahead and do it? Remember, it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is to get permission.
Unfortunately, governmental policy always seems to lag behind the latest innovations and can blur the path towards the best solutions. Policy protects us from the unknown or harmful, but it is not very good at driving change. That said, the government lives and breathes policy in voluminous tomes. In a tradition started in the 18th century, there is a need for a small subset of governmental stakeholders that bend the rules, investigate the possibilities, and let the rest of government catch up, rewriting the documentation to fit the new model. In other words, there is a need for the Goverati. In fact, democracy would stagnate without those that break tradition and push for change. After all, it was in that spirit America was founded. Today the public demands transparency, participation, and collaboration in ways the government does not yet provide, mostly because the needed technologies have not yet been vetted through our bureaucracy. In our efforts to be safe, we've created one too many committees, left out the citizen, and now we are late to the party. In fact, it's even hard to explain to senior management why we need social technologies, as its inherent advantages are distilled out into PowerPoint slides due to lack of access at the office. As we look to the future, what if the Goverati became more than a secret society? What if it became the foundation of a new movement, and using social technologies our government was recreated by the people, for the people? Even today, govloop may be an early sign of this change and already boasts over 7,000 members. What would this model mean when applied on a large scale to government?
More people can say more things to more people than ever in history, and that is still growing enormously.
The contemporary internet and the tools that make it up give us an immense opportunity to reorganize almost any aspect of our own lives.
So if you can create an encyclopedia with 1 million people who've never met, but the quality is just as good as Britannica, what else could you create?
There is this possibility of using these tools to do massive things, which is completely unexplored at the moment.
and we can work together in ways that ask a deeper question about the role of government.
There's a whole new model that's emerging where we become part of the government.
I think we've got the technology that any vote that's in Parliament could be offered to the entire country.
This is a very profound change. I'm not talking about people lobbying outside parties influencing government. I'm talking about unbundling and reconstituting what is a government.
A revolution doesn't happen when society adopts new tools. It happens when society adopts new behaviors.
One of the interesting new trends in IT is the rise of virtual worlds and the immersive internet. Where do they fit into the Goverati's agenda? Virtual worlds have the ability to create communities and foster smart crowds in ways never seen before on the internet. We'll briefly look at 4 advantages, including maintaining optimal crowd conditions, increasing the level of collaboration, conveying a sense of ownership, and understanding the data. First, networking in the wrong fashion contributes to mob mentality rather than collective intelligence. Virtual worlds allow for large-scale interactions while doing a better job ensuring everyone is participating. It's relatively easy to tell when someone isn't doing their part. In case you're wondering, AFK stands for away from keyboard. In essence, virtual worlds do a better job bringing a humanly understandable-sized community back into internet-based venues. Next, virtual worlds allow groups to work together towards a common goal with a higher bandwidth than their 2D technological counterparts. In this example, a group is building a house from a blueprint. Note that there is little time lost changing between CAD programs, instant messaging, file sharing, web cameras, and the final product. In fact, virtual worlds are reaching the point where they bring some of the advantages of meeting face-to-face back into a scalable internet-based solution. The ThinkBomb innovation community created a collaborative mind mapping tool where a group can brainstorm ideas in real time while literally walking through the associated concepts. For polling audience opinions, here's a tool I created. Called a Twitometer, it polls Twitter every few seconds looking for the specified question. How do you feel about Obama? By associating positive and negative keywords with tweets, it's possible to visualize real-time trends in opinion. Interestingly, after running the Twitometer for a few days, the results closely matched the recent election. Virtual worlds also increase the sense of personal ownership for participants. Similar to wikis, virtual worlds provide a framework for collaborative design, saving revisions as part of the history. By empowering individuals to take a common design in personalized directions, virtual worlds convey a sense of personal ownership of a common goal. Finally, as part of Obama's Open Government Initiative, there is a push to publish vast amounts of government data and open standards for public consumption. Everything from census to climate data could soon be online in an easy-to-use format. Virtual worlds offer capabilities to take that data and visualize it in immersive and easily understandable fashions. Today, virtual worlds might appear little more than a rudimentary children's game. The technology is where the World Wide Web was in 1995. Today's first-generation user interfaces are complex and lack widespread use, limiting their effectiveness in large-scale collaboration. However, in the future, virtual worlds could literally become an extension of our physical form, creating reality with the simplicity of second nature. Imagine tomorrow, where together we can create realities with ease and experiment with societal models, taking the lessons learned to improve the real world. Political town hall meetings could be held virtually, increasing the connectedness between elected officials and their constituents. Moreover, what will happen when these virtual environments blend with the real world, giving people instantaneous access to information? How will this affect our politics and decision-making process? Much change awaits in our future, but the time for the Goverati is now, and joining is as simple as a few mouse clicks. You have unique contributions. You have thoughts, ideas, and opinions worth sharing. Together, we can make society a better place.